I got a foundation video for you today. We're going to look at the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Blurry Matte Full Coverage Foundation. It's a $49 brand new foundation. We're going to look at that here today with me, Rebecca. I'm a fashion and beauty editor who has spent well over 20 years in the trenches with some of the biggest names in fashion and beauty, and that has given me the perceived authority to start a channel here on YouTube called Not Fit for Print Beauty, because we're digital now, not print, and that will give you a little bit of a digital beauty magazine to look through every day or so right here on YouTube. So we're going to get into this Charlotte Tilbury foundation as well as talk about upcoming foundation from Natasha Denona. All sorts of good stuff coming up. But I wanted to have a quick word with you about a sale that my friends over at Teddy Blake, New York are having. You guys remember that Teddy Blake sent me this bag not too long ago, and I've been really enjoying it. It's sleeping in its little dust cover right now, but I have the Kim Stampato 11-inch bag. I love this color, and I have had this for some time now and been using it. I love it. I have the strap on it now because sometimes I wear it like a crossbody, but I've actually been using it lately without the strap and just carrying it like a handbag, but you can modernize it with the strap, and the strap of course is adjustable, and I've even been wearing that adjustable strap a little bit higher up so you can play with it and get different looks. It's an absolutely beautiful bag, but right now until September 1st, there's a Labor Day sale going on. Items are up to 35% off, but you get an extra 10% off if you use my code TBRebecca10. So if you use code TB for Teddy Blake, TBRebecca10, you get an extra 10% off already big Labor Day savings at Teddy Blake, New York. Take a look for just a moment at some of the newer offerings. I'm really, really excited about the Claire 14-inch that you see up at the top there. I'm looking into getting one of those for myself. Not free, for actually purchasing it. I told you guys, I put my money where my mouth is. They sent me this one, but I'm looking at getting another one for myself. I also am really interested in the squares for the silk bag ties. If you have a bag, a great way to modernize it is to take a silk square and then you roll it up and you wrap it around the handle. You can do this on a Teddy Blake bag. You can do this on any of your bags with a handle. It modernizes it. It adds a little bit of color and a little bit of your own flair and style to a bag. And when I have a structured bag, like my Teddy Blake bag here, I love to add some whimsy because it takes away from the conservative nature of the structure. And I think that interplay between structure and whimsy is a really beautiful idea for any of your fashionable outfits. So I really highly, highly recommend you check them out now, especially when you can get up to 35% off. And then with my code TBRebecca10, an extra 10% off on top of that. That's the Labor Day sale at Teddy Blake, New York, now until September 1st. Check them out. Tell them I said hello. Okay, let's talk about foundation. So we got a few foundation releases that are prominent that are coming out. Number one, Natasha Denona is releasing or has just released her brand new foundation, and I will be getting that any day now, and we'll take a look at that. But the other one that everyone's talking about, the other notable release, is Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Blurring and Matte Full Coverage Foundation. $49. 36 shades. This is a full matte liquid foundation that can even go 24 hours. They call this 3D coverage, not flat, but 3D. I'm nearing the end of my wear test. It's the evening. I've been wearing it all day, so you're getting a little bit of a preview. And in the demo, I'm going to show you, I bought 2 shades. So we're going to talk about shade choices. It's very true to what shade you've probably always been if you tried other fuller coverage, medium to full coverage Charlotte foundations. It is nothing like the shades in some of her lighter, but we'll talk about that in the demo. This has what Charlotte Tilbury, with the marketing team over there, calls biomimetic second skin tech. Charlotte is very fond of these sort of self-made little trademark things. I mean, biomimetic might be an actual thing out there, but you don't hear it used a lot. But they say that makes it waterproof, transfer-proof, life-proof even, you know. And it's got a powder blur air tech, another one of those proprietary Charlotte Tilbury terms. Basically what they're saying is it's got beautiful coverage. They call it 3D coverage, meaning that the foundation doesn't look flat, but it feels like it has a lot of life, because full coverage foundations, they can look a bit flat. It's why I usually don't prefer them, but they're saying that they've taken care of that here, and it does kind of seem to be the case. They call it a 7-in-1 foundation. What is a 7-in-1 foundation? It addresses everything. It's almost like a concealer. It's almost like a powder because it's self-setting. So it deals with blemishes and redness. It erases pores and fine lines, hyperpigmentation, uneven skin, dark circles. It kind of does the whole bit. You can use half a pump for what Charlotte Tilbury likes to call a clean girl look, and you can use a full pump for full coverage, which is what we have done today. And I would like to say in the middle of a wear test, but I'm really towards the end, and it's faring very, very well. Now, if you're wondering about the brand new Charlotte Tilbury lip mask, I do have that on order, that lip mask, and it is coming in soon. So I would have loved to put it in one big Charlotte Tilbury video, but fortunately or unfortunately, it's not here yet, and I wanted to help you guys decide what shade and show you how this wears. There are a lot of people in my audience who really yearn for these good, full coverage matte foundations. There's not a lot. There's some good ones on the market. There's not a lot of great ones. So will this be a great one? We're going to go right now to the demo and take a look, and don't forget about that sale at Teddy Blake, New York. Before we put this on, I feel like there's a little spiel that I go through every time I review a foundation. And if you've been with my channel literally for any length of time, you probably have it memorized. So I'm just gonna speed it up, okay?
Whenever I try on a foundation, I avoid primer, I avoid concealer, and I avoid powder and setting spray. Why? Because we all use different primers, concealers, setting sprays, and powders. Some of us use pressed powder, some of us use loose powder, and that could interfere with the performance of the product. So when I test it, I will just do the product only, and then we know if something happens, it is the fault of the foundation and the foundation only, and not something I combine it with. In videos that will come up and future videos, I will combine it with other things and talk to you about that and certainly answer any other questions. But just so you know, the parameters that we are proceeding with.
We got that, right? I know, I need to have it printed up on a little thing and just hold it on a sign. Okay, so as you see, I have nothing on my face now, just morning skincare, and you heard how it all works. Charlotte Tilbury, whenever she released a foundation, and I was a diehard Charlotte Tilbury fan, I still am, but you know, back in the early days of all the craziness and fads around makeup, she was my go-to, and I was always a 5N, a 5 neutral. I am a light, medium, neutral skin tone. Her last foundation, which was much lighter than the others, I tried the 5N. I just bought it without thinking or looking, and it was okay, but it wasn't great. And I went in store and actually got matched with a 4 warm. I have never been warm. I'm really neutral. Sometimes I'm cool, like in Chanel, to cover my redness, I can go cool. And I suppose, like a lot of you say, hey, Rebecca, you're a little bit olive, and sometimes I kind of can be. Anyway, so here's what I did. I picked up the 5 neutral, and I picked up the 4 warm. And, you know, we'll see what they look like. If I mix them, or keep both, or return one. I don't usually do returns, but it's Ulta, so. Okay, anyway. So here is the 5N. This is my usual go-to. And I think we'll just do like a little stripe of it, and then see what we think, because I haven't tried this before, you guys. I'm not going to just do the whole side of my face, because if it's wrong, it's wrong. You know what I mean? We're not trying to clown around here, okay? So let's just kind of see. Okay, so here is a stripe. No, that's not bad. That's honestly not bad. It is very full coverage, I can tell you right now. It's looking a little olive for me, though, isn't it? Let me get my little makeup eraser. When I grabbed my handy-dandy makeup eraser, I saw it in the light of my bathroom, and it's almost looking too warm. The other shade I got is warm, so I don't know. Let's see. Here's the 4 warm, and we'll put it, you've been forewarned. Oh, that wasn't funny. It wasn't funny at all. Okay, so this is a lot, the 4 is a lot lighter than the 5. Let me just try it here. I'm hoping that this kind of helps you decide, that's way too light, helps you decide on what you should be getting for yourself. The shade 4 is definitely too light. So, you know, and I should realize that because a full coverage foundation is going to need to be more on target with skin tone than her last release. If you remember what I'm talking about, that was a lot of lighter, dewy coverage. Okay, so here we go. I'm definitely the 5, but I might be the 5 cool. I don't know. Now, I am not going to put this 4 warm all over my face. That's just silliness. So I'm going to put that away. All right, and we are going to work for our purposes here with my normal Charlotte shade, which is 5 neutral. Well, which looks like it might be a little warm. So let's see when we get a whole face of it. Like I said, putting the forewarm on, I mean, that was just so too light. It just becomes comical. And though I like to make a few jokes, this is a makeup review channel, not a comedy channel, right? So, but I do hope that kind of helped some of you, because I have been matched in her foundation, lighter coverage with a 4W. So I do hope that was helpful. And we'll see what this looks like as we get the whole face on and see what it's covering up, because I have no concealer. I'm even going over the eyes because this says it's going to cover all sorts of blemishes. Remember that list that I told you guys about? It's going to do blemishes, and it's going to, you know, this is going to be matte, full coverage, long wear. I'll do my brows. I know I got some in my brows. That's not a problem. Full coverage, long wear. I always use the warmth of my hands. Yes, I wash my hands. No, I go make a sandwich. So I always use the warmth of my hands, not to pull on skin. I'm being very gentle. And I just kind of make sure it's all in. I actually think that shade works, doesn't it? There it is with my neck, which has none on it. It was definitely not the 4. I am back to a 5. Wow, when they say matte, they really mean it. I mean, this is matte, and this is supposed to be 3D coverage. What do you all think? Okay, here's what I want to do. I'm going to give it a few more hours, and then we'll come back and we'll check in before we have the full reveal. I mean, I can't do a 24-hour test, but I'm certainly going to try to do as much as I can. All right, so just stay right there. Okay, really quick, it's been 4 hours, and I just wanted to check in with you. Here's what I've done in those 4 hours. I put on a little bit of that Ciele kind of like hint of color blush and some mascara. And I got the product out of my eyebrows that I had gotten in. But other than that, it's just been 4 hours. I didn't put on any highlighter. I might for the last segment, for last check-in, but I didn't put any on now because I didn't want you to think that was the foundation. I wanted you to see how exactly matte this is, and it really is part of my skin. I'm liking the shade that I chose. Phew, because I was off on so many foundation shades lately. I'm liking the shade I chose more and more. It is setting on the skin. It's an interesting foundation. It is extraordinarily full coverage and very serum-like. It is extremely comfortable and very skin-like, but it's like so matte that it's kind of, I don't know that I would dot it all over my face and then apply it, because it almost like it wants to dry. Like it's like, I'm going to become part of your skin right now. So, you know, like when I went off camera after putting it on here on camera, I looked and there was kind of like a little bit still on my nose, not blended, and I kind of, you know, really struggled with it to blend it. Really struggled. That's a bit of hyperbole. But what I'm saying is it's not, I think I'm used to foundations that just go on and you just kind of go like that and they're on. This one you've got to like specifically blend, which isn't really, honestly, that's not that rare for a full coverage foundation. I just don't wear a lot of them. For full coverage, you're probably wondering if this is like Estee Lauder double wear. Better. It's better than a lot of them that I've seen, actually. I mean, I think this is, I am not someone who generally prefers full coverage foundations, but I have often told you guys that I really should take the hint because I get more compliments from people. Wow, your skin looks great when I wear full coverage, so I really should take the hint. And if I were to choose to wear full coverage, it would be this one. And the shades look like they're a little more in line with what you, if you're a fan, with what you might have worn in the past, not some of the newer lighter ones that she does, but her full coverage. This is beautiful. I do think it needed a revamp because some of her flawless foundations have felt a little too heavy. This one feels really comfortable for a full coverage foundation, but we're only a few hours in, so I'm going to let it go the rest of the way and film the intro, and then I'll see you back here with as many hours as I can get before I film the intro. Looking good though. Nice and blurred, huh? Liking it. Be back soon. Okay, it's late in the evening, but I wanted to get 10 hours in. I mean, I know it's a 24-hour foundation, but I got 10 hours in, and I want to take off my makeup, but I put on fresh little lipstick for you. It's Tarte. Everything I'm wearing is down below in the description bar, and where I can, I'll put it up here in YouTube shopping. Makes it a little easier. Okay, so we got 10 hours out of 24, but really we should know. You guys, it's really good. It's really good. It's really good. The only thing that you might find a little annoying is, like I said, there's a little bit of a hesitancy. I mean, you really have to be precise with the application because, you know, it wants to like grip and become part of the skin. So it's a little grippy. And if you're like me and you're used to that kind of really fluid, lightweight foundation, you know, you're used to just kind of smoothing it on. And this one, you have to be a bit more purposeful. And that's me trying to be really picky because it's hard to find something negative. Let's actually look at the foundation, and now we're at 10 hours in. Okay, it is not moving. Here's the great thing. There's no, that thing that I said was kind of a negative, I'm going to turn it positive because it becomes one with the face. I don't have lines that are forming. I don't feel that I have to look into a mirror and do anything like that. And if I did, I'm not having foundation move. Anything you put over the top of it, I didn't put a highlighter on, but if you were to, I was playing around with it earlier, it's not going to budge. So you can put even your fussiest, most fun, most any sort of, you know, dewy product over the top, and it's not going to pick up. This is not going to pick up. It's going to have to be washed off with, you know, maybe an oil cleanser first and then a foaming cleanser, maybe a two-step process. But I mean, it is on there. This is not going to budge. This is, and it doesn't transfer. I could put my face against any sort of a white sheet of paper here and show you. I mean, there's nothing there. Sorry, it's printing on it, but it's not going anywhere. This is not going to move. In terms of blurring, I have pores here that I can always see, and a good foundation or powder will blur them. I don't see them at all. It's not that they're blurred, they're gone. Underneath the eyes, I did not use concealer, and it looks great. It's almost like you don't need concealer. Is it self-setting? Totally. If you do live in a very hot climate and you feel that still somehow you'll get oily, you can put powder. This is bulletproof. You can put anything over the top. But it really feels like it's a self-setting type thing where you wouldn't need it. And I don't feel like I need concealer because I have redness here that usually takes concealer and, you know, a little bit of hyperpigmentation. This has kind of become an all-in-one product. I didn't put concealer on because generally that's just not what I do for these reviews, but you really don't need it, or powder or setting spray. So all those things that I said. Now, Charlotte Tilbury does recommend that you do start with a primer of her moisturizer. And I don't know if that's because she recommends it for moisturization or if it's just a tactic to sell more product. I'm going with the latter on that because I just had my morning skincare on, and this is 10 hours and this isn't going anywhere. If you need a full coverage, bulletproof foundation, if you're somebody with a really tough job where you're on your feet and running around and have crazy shifts and all that, or if you have you just need a lot of coverage, and like I said, I need to take the hint. I clearly do. You will be very happy with this. And the shades seem to run a little bit more what you'd expect. You know, I hear Charlotte, I think 5 neutral, and I think that's really what I am. So, can't give this a bad review. The only people who won't like it are people who are used to viscous, fluidy, dewy, movable, light coverage. But that shouldn't be the customer for this, right? This is beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. I don't want you guys to forget about the beautiful sale going on at Teddy Blake. Please remember that you can get up to 35% off now through September 1st at their Labor Day sale. Check out some of those new arrivals like I am looking at. I'm really looking at that Claire bag. Get a square, a silk square to tie on. Anyway, up to 35% off. But if you use code TBRebecca10, you're going to get 10% additionally off on a Teddy Blake bag. These are beautiful luxury bags at really, honestly, comparatively affordable prices for luxury goods, and especially with this sale you can save up to, especially when you use my code, you can save up to 45%, which is amazing. On now through September 1st at Teddy Blake. Ask me any questions that you have down below, whether it's about Teddy Blake bags or whether it's about our beautiful Charlotte Tilbury new Airbrush Flawless Foundation. Happy to answer them. Come join us over on Facebook and come see me on TikTok. I'm on Instagram. We have a membership right here on YouTube that has a weekly live every Friday, and you can catch that replay if you are a member and you can't make it live. We would just love to see you there. Make sure that you like and share and of course subscribe, and I look forward to seeing all of you in the next video. Bye-bye.